Hello, pre-algebra. Welcome to lesson 5.1, simple linear equations in one variable, beginning on page 116 and going through page 119. First, the vocabulary for this lesson. You're going to be seeing expressions in basic form like this. X plus 3 equals 8. We have the variable x, so that actually is an equation in one variable x. Pretty obvious, but we need to state that. A linear equation is in the form of ax, so a number x, plus another single number equals a third number. So ax plus b equals c. Our goal in this problem solving is to isolate x, to get it all by itself on one side of the equation. For example, here x is together with a positive 3. We want to get that by itself, so it ends up being x equals a number. So that would be the solution. So in order to do this, the rule is whatever you do on one side of the equation, you must do on the other side to keep things equal and balanced. And now we're going to go through lots of different scenarios to show how you solve for x by isolating x and keeping each side balanced. So in try it number 1 on page 118, we are supposed to solve x minus 2 equals 7. Fairly simple problem. In our head, we could actually just work backwards and say, oh, sure, that's going to be 9. But how do you do it algebraically? Because I guarantee it's not going to stay this simple and obvious. So we have to know the steps. So here we go. We are wanting to isolate x. So we want to get rid of the negative 2. Getting rid of the negative 2 means changing it into some form of 0. Well, the only way you can do that is to add the positive 2. So minus 2 plus 2. That makes it 0. That leaves x alone. But keeping the rule in mind, whatever I do on the left side, I must do on the right side, and vice versa. So I'm going to add 2 to get rid of the negative 2. So I'm going to add 2 on this side. Therefore, my answer is x, because this basically eliminates, and I'm left with x equals 9, 7 plus 2. You do need to do these steps, as simple as it is, because like I just said a moment ago, it's not going to stay this easy, and you need to know how to do this. So going on to try it 2, I have x plus 5 equals 11. I need to get x alone, so I'm going to do the opposite of positive 5 and go negative 5 to eliminate it. If I go negative 5 here, I go negative 5 here. Therefore, x equals 11 minus 5 is 6. So far, it's pretty simple, pretty basic, but you need to learn the steps. That is going to be the challenge in your work today. So I'm going to need to see those steps in your work. Continuing on with try it 3. Now we have x over 3 equals 5. Remember, as a fraction, this means divide. X divided by 3. Well, the opposite of dividing is multiplying, and that will eliminate the 3 and get x by itself. So x divided by 3 times 3. If I times 3 here, I'm going to times 3 here. So that leaves me with x equals 15. In try it 4, I have negative 10x equals 35. When it's written like this, negative 10x, like that, I remember this is multiplying. So to get rid of that negative 10, so I have x by itself, I'm going to divide by negative 10 to eliminate. Again, I'm dividing by negative 10 here. I will divide by negative 10 on this side also. So this leaves me with x, and then positive 35 divided by negative 10 leaves me with a negative 3.5. I'm just moving my decimal point at this point. Just remember your positives and negatives also. Again, keep these steps in your written work today. Try it 5, adds another element. Now it's just not equaling something on the other side and I have to do something to it. Now I have x on both sides. So I have 7 minus 10x equals negative 2x minus 5. I need to get my x's on the left and work from there. So to get my negative x on the other side, I have to do the opposite. I'm going to add to eliminate it. So that leaves me with negative 5 on the left eventually. But if I'm adding if I'm adding 2x here, I'm going to add 2x over here. So that leaves me with 7 minus 8x, because a negative 10x and a positive 2x is a negative 8x. Leaves me with negative 5 over here. Okay, I'm getting there. Now I'm going to bring that 7 to the other side. This is a positive 7, so I'm going to have a negative 7. I'm going to join that together to eliminate the 7s. So negative 7 here, negative 7 there. So I'm left with negative 8x equals negative 12. Now I'm left with a situation like in Triad 4. I'm going to divide through by negative 8 on each side. That leaves me with x. Here I'm going negative divided by a negative, so that actually turns this positive to 12/8. I'm going to reduce that by dividing by 4/4, which leaves me with 3/2. I can stop here or change it into a mixed fraction or a mixed numeral, which is 1.5, or a decimal 1.5. Your book could write this in one of those 3 ways. Any one of those 3 ways would be correct. However, leaving it as 12/8 would not work because that's not in simplest form. So you need to keep that in mind. Okay, this by far is the more complicated. Again, all the steps need to be present to prove your answer, to keep your thinking straight. But this is what you're going to be working with today. So we're going to divide this into 2 lessons because it's an important lesson. You're going to be doing this. You're going to be solving for x for a very long time in your algebra career, which is the rest of this year and next year and in high school. So this is a great way to get started. So your assignment for today is page 119, number 1, A through N. So just solve those equations, solve for x in each case. As always, you can rewatch, rewind, pause, get your steps down, work carefully, work very carefully, and do good math, of course. Thank you.